Hello, let's dance a bit.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Hallelujah. I've got nothing more to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. I've got nothing more to worry about. See, I've got nothing else to worry about. Jesus is on my side. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. No worry can steal my happiness. I've got Jesus Christ on my side. No disease can steal my death away. I've got Jesus Christ on my side.
Yes, I love that song by Odong Romeo. It's quite a nice song. We used to sing a lot. It's about Jesus, and he said he's always going to do the work of Christ. Yes, in Matthew 28, we were taught and given a great commission to go around the world and teach the word of God. He's already doing it by singing. Imagine I'm here in New York, Buffalo, I'm listening to his song, I'm enjoying. Basically, it brings us to what I'm going to talk about, a testimony. What is testifying now? Without God, I would not be here. It is God that brought me here in the United States of America. I would have died in Uganda. Remember, I was tortured. So for those who don't know me, I'm called Mwaka Rutukumoi, former DP national spokesman elected, former deputy RDC of Liver. But that aside, in 2011, as national leader, another opposition, we sat down, organized walk to work protest that saw over 8 people killed. Government and the police apprehended us. I was beaten so bad, like a chicken thief. They pushed me, I fell. I broke my hand. The back was dislocated. I had L1, L5 problems at the disc. Later did I know it affected my spine, which later here they diagnosed and found a neurological disease that affects my speech. That's why I'm struggling to speak. And please bear with me in what I'm about to say. So because of that, I joined government and I was appointed the PDRDC. By the way, at that time, men thought I went for money. No. Imagine my security guard in Gulu, in my NGO, was being paid over $1 million, but me, the PDRDC then, was paid 980,000 shillings, less than what my security person gets. But I opted to go because I wanted to get a platform on how to help our people who were bedeviled by the war. Now, so it all actually serious. Went through it all, and we have a story to tell. Nevertheless, these are testimonies because you can't imagine living 1.8 million people, including me, because I lived in the municipality, but it was the biggest camp because many people from the village came and settled in town, near towns, and in camps. More than 700,000 people died. In more than 30,000 children were abducted, according to UNICEF report 2001. Friends, this is all good because I survived by the skin of my teeth. I would be dead because we are victims of two-pronged enemies. The NRA, led by President Museveni, would come and say we are collaborators. The LRA, led by Joseph Kony, by then was Chilil. They used to sing, Chilil, war convoy, Chilil, war convoy, Chilil, war convoy. You know, they used to sing, used to also respond. So because of that link, because of torture and many things, our people opted to go and fight. At that time, the war was justified at the beginning of the war. And basically, the government would come and say, we are collaborators. The LR will come also and abduct and kill. So we were caught between. They say when two elephants fight, the grasses suffer. That's the thing in Acholi. But nevertheless, I was able to educate myself from the onset. I told you, my mother, 4 days before she died, she said, you are a miracle boy. I tried to abort you, but God kept you. You didn't come out. And I was born on Christmas, the day she was born, meaning God was with me. Emmanuel, my name. Of course, I tell you, Makalo Tukmoy, the Christian name is Emmanuel, like Jesus, born on Christmas Day. The name was automatic. Friends, I struggled as an orphan, homeless, from primary to university. In primary school, I remember, we would dig people's garden to get money to support yourself. I would go to a nearby village, Akonyi Beru, come with maize, from auction gardens. I boil, the next morning I sell in glass. That was my life. You know, there's a big difference between education here in the US, the West, than the North, Africa, in my country. Education was a privilege, not a right. Like here, it is a right. Government schools are higher because most educated teachers goes to make money in government school, but rarely do they go to private schools. The reverse is true here. In Uganda, then, you have to pay yourself to school all your parents. As without parents, it was on you to look for money and educate yourself. It was so tough. I lived in a place over 1.8 million people were living in camps, as I said before. Over 30,000 children abducted, I said before. And but I was able to educate myself. God guided us. Imagine you're going for UNEP. I got 19 in O-level, 19 aggregate. That was the first grade. I mean, no, not 1919 was in O level, but in primary got distinction 1, in English distinction 1, in SST distinction 2, in English, and then I know in math. In math, I got bigger percentage. I was not good in math, but I passed well in O level. You know, you're going for your nap and go to a loop in the bush, because we used to sleep in the bushes. You call it a loop. You're going for national exams. You get your torch in the cover, in the blanket at night. You read your books to compete with those in Kampala. That's why we are saying not everybody struggle, and we're blessed to study like us. Because we're at master's level, we are scholars, you know, lecturing here and there. But children, many young people in actually Lao and those at the epicenter of the war did not get the opportunity to read and study. The level of literacy is so low, illiteracy is high, and most of our youth are dropouts and are security guards. In Uganda, security guards are the lowest paid people.